a look at the lineups here. First, let's take a look for the Plymouth Big Red. Had an opportunity to speak with their second-year head coach just a few minutes ago. And Hannah Adams said that they got a young team. Their philosophy is just go out there, have fun, and let the chips fall where they may. So only a couple of wins for them last year, looking to build and improve on that. But up against it here tonight, I think Crestview considered to be one of the Firelands Conference favorites. So we'll see if there's a lot of smiles out there and if they're getting what they want out of the game, Braden.
Yeah, Plymouth has 2 seniors and 1 junior, as Hannah mentioned earlier. So with that youth experience, they can build off of it and hopefully make a run at Firelands Conference. But yeah, the Crestview Cougars are obviously favorites.
And there we get a service ace by Izzy Artis. Crestview's got a couple of young studs. Go ahead and pull up their lineup here in a second. Certainly you cannot talk about the Lady Cougars if you do not mention their 2 seniors, Kenedi Goon and Autumn Bailey. Those are the 2 big girls for them. Kenedi led the team in kills and kill percentage last year, so she's a stud. She's a Division I prospect. Actually, she's already committed to play at the next level to Tiffin. So, they got some great talent out there, and certainly they try to move everything through her number 13. Hard to miss, standing at 6'2".
Yes, she gets up, she kills the ball, and just like her partner, Autumn Bailey, she can high fly and just spike that ball.
Ball's hit just a little bit too deep by Summer Davis of Plymouth, so I'll give the serve back over here to Crestview. And here is Goon. We'll get a look at her. That one comes out flat, almost no spin at all. Well placed too. So Plymouth didn't have an opportunity to really set up the way they probably wanted to.
And there's that Autumn Bailey spike that we would have been talking about.
And that's Autumn Bailey, the middle hitter, listed at 5'10". So you see the impact that these 2 seniors can have already. Now a service ace from Goon as Crestview increases their lead out to 14-6 here in the first. So a couple of points there for Crestview, and they give it back over to Plymouth on the serve. Here's the libero, Riley Sloan, just a sophomore. And Plymouth comes up with the point. Both teams entering tonight's match undefeated. Both coming off of wins in their season opener. Plymouth took care of St. Peter's 3-1 just last night. Crestview a winner over Bucyrus in their opener in 3 sets.
Man, Kenedi Goon just spikes that ball so well. Almost the ball travels so fast that the Plymouth defense is having slow time to respond to it.
And that's exactly right. And you see where she hit it from, at about 3/4 court there in between the white lines, and still had the power to push it by Plymouth. And there's a big spike right there thrown down by Bailey.
Autumn Bailey gets up there on that last play, just spikes that ball down. Man, whenever Kenedi Goon's presence is in the back row, Autumn Bailey just fills in those shoes. Kelsey Welch with the ball up, and Morgan Haas hits into net as Crestview goes up 18-8.
It looked like just a little bit of miscommunication right there, and then Morgan Haas just unable to make the play. It looked like she was just trying to get it over the net any way that she could.
Yeah, when you have a young squad like Plymouth does, like we mentioned, 2 seniors, 1 junior, you're going to have those miscommunications.
Libero does an excellent job there. Sloan keeping it alive. And then Plymouth too deep with that attempt there, so Cougars are going to maintain the serve.
What is this, Chloe Sauter's 5th serve? She's on a roll right now.
And Sauter is pretty much the quarterback that runs the system out here, as again Crestview gets another point. Their longtime head coach told me that she's a really valuable player. Jody Ritchie, now in her 11th year, said that Sauter, as the setter, really versatile.
Kenny Gibson with that dig, but Plymouth can't get over the net. Crestview is on a roll right now. They may take this set. Oh. And a substitution comes in, number 23, Emily Irvin, the freshman. When you look down the Plymouth roster, there's a lot of sophomores and freshmen that fill out. Oh, so when we talk about miscommunication, a lot of these girls have been playing together for their first year. And Izzy Artis checks back into the game for the Crestview Cougars.
Rebecca Kaufman sends the serve. Flip back over by Kelsey Welch.
And Autumn Bailey just sneaks that one right in there.
And a bit fortunate there by Autumn Bailey. I don't think she struck it probably nearly as well as she wanted to, but it hit the top of the net, made it for a tough play for Plymouth. Crestview able to get the point.
Yeah, she's been dominant here so far and hitting it really hard. So when she hits a loft one like that, Plymouth expects it to come back at them really fast, and they just misplayed it.
Perfect placement there by the Big Red. To get the service back, they trim it down to 21-10, so they're starting to run out of opportunities. They're going to have to go on a nice roll here with Summer Davis, the senior, set up, and there's 1 point. You got to get it back one at a time, Braden, so that's a good start.
Yeah, you got to take those baby steps, especially with a young team like that. You can't look at the whole thing and be like, all right, let's get these 10 points back at one time. You got to slowly climb back into the game.
Nice setup, Sophie Durbin. Good contact. Plymouth not able to get it over the net. And defending there again, Bailey.
And it looks like the sophomore Chloe Trine is checking back into the game for Plymouth. And Autumn Bailey, a D1 commit for softball, looks to send this serve over for the Cougars. Man, she gets up in the air.
Yeah, she's a heck of an athlete. But Plymouth hanging around. Cuts it down 22-12 again.
Just all you got to do is hang in there for high school sports. I mean, you can't get all points back at once, but climb in one serve, two serves at a time.
Jalen Branham.
Skylar Ramsey sends the ball. And the Cougars get over the net, but it is out of bounds. Plymouth gets another point.
Branham again, just a freshman, and then a timeout called by Crestview. So an opportunity for them to, think things over here a little bit. Just need 3 more points to try to close out this first set. But, it's never easy when you're going up against a conference opponent. So
no,
may as well take your time.
Yeah, even though Crestview does look like the well-complete, more chemistry team, Plymouth, young teams like that, they can sneak in there and they might get a set here or there. I mean, they had to limit their mistakes and got to trim that lead down. It's currently 22-13, but they might climb back into this thing. You never know, Brian.
As it is right now, 22-13. Crestview Cougars out in front here in set number 1. If you're just joining us on the OH Report, we are live streaming the match on YouTube. We will be reposting this later on Facebook for you guys all to watch. So, sorry for anybody who was trying to watch it on that platform.
And the freshman Jalen Branham from Plymouth looks to serve this ball over.
Pretty nice setup, and then it smacked off the noggin there. Izzy Artis, the middle hitter, the sophomore, displaying some nice athleticism.
Yeah, the freshman Emily Irvin tried returning that, but it just came at her too hard.
Garber sends it over. Not very well hit that time by Sloan, out of play, and now just 1 point away from taking this opening set are the Cougars. Garber sends it with the left hand again. Nice placement, and that will close it out. 25-13 Crestview. take set number 1 here against their Firelands Conference rival. We will take a quick break. We'll be right back with more high school volleyball action live right here on the OH Report. Well, welcome back to the Cougars Den, where we are taking in some live high school volleyball action. Plymouth on the road, taking on Crestview here tonight. And the Cougars on top 1-0 as they took care of business 25-13 in the opening sets. I am Brian Skoronsky, joined by Braden Creveling tonight.
Yeah, Brian, Crestview has been dominant of Plymouth all last year. They won all 3 sets, both times home and away. So Plymouth, the young Plymouth squad, looks to seek the revenge and maybe steal a set or 2 on the road and make this an even match or go up for an advantage.
That would be kind of the dream scenario for this young Big Red team here tonight. But Crestview steps up, takes the first point here of set number 2.
Yeah, Plymouth had a slow start on that first set, but when they started finding themselves a little bit in the middle of that match, and they kind of scared Crestview a little bit. They had to call a timeout and regather their troops, but Joey Ritchie got them back on track, and they won that set comfortably.
Nice setup and no chance there. Smashed potatoes and gravy. Autumn Bailey puts it hard onto the hardwood. Set up Rebecca Kaufman for another serve. The junior is super versatile. A couple of years ago, she was a starter as a libero, and she's got moved around a couple of times in her high school career, so she's just one of those utility type of players that you love to have if you're a coach, as that one is too deep and the Cougars go up 3-0.
Yeah, any team in any sport would like a player that can play multiple positions and is willing to be mobile like that. Morgan Hass sends one in the center of the court, and the Crestview defense is all looking around trying to get their communication right and trying to send it over, but it fell right in between them.
Summer Davis to serve it for the Big Red. Does so. Put up by Bailey. And then the strike too strong that time from the right hand of Izzy Artis. So 3-2 now the count. Davis sends it to the back line, set up by Goon. And then I see what Autumn Bailey was trying to do. There was an open space down there. It just would have been tough to put it in play, and she wasn't able to.
Yeah, Brian, that would have been a mighty impressive play if she got that ball right on that white line, but it slowly went out, and Big Red tied this thing up.
Not a great setup for Goon, so Plymouth will have a good opportunity here, but off of the set, just mishandled that time by Kelsey Welsh. So Cougars back out in front, and here comes Bailey. And, man, she is such an athletic player. I mean, she leaps like a deer. Look at how high she gets up. Nice set, but too strong once again from Artis. So Plymouth doing a nice job hanging around here in the early going as we are tied up 4 apiece.
I say it almost seems like Crestview's beating themselves in this set at this point. Izzy Artis is trying to hug that back line, but she cannot find it so far. And probably Patrick of the Big Red misplayed that ball and it just fell right in front of the net.
So a side out and the ball back over to the Cougs. Marlene Garber, who just checked in. We'll see the junior with the service. Not very much top spin for her.
Man,
nice
Goon just gets
there by Goon.
I would say Goon just gets up there, knows how to block it.
And this is one of the top prospects in the entire state here, Braden. She was on the Max Preps watch list. I guess they only chose about 30 girls for that for the entire state of Ohio. And Goon, as we mentioned already, going to Tiffin University to play at the next level. She is certainly one of the top players that we have in all of North Central Ohio and really the entire Buckeye State.
Brian, that's one thing in sports you cannot teach is experience. Goon has been in this varsity for year after year after year. As Goon spikes it right in the middle of the Plymouth defense.
And clearly she's been lifting. I mean, on a power meter, that's about an 8.5 right there. I bet when that ball hits the floor, it probably shakes some of the boots underneath some of those Plymouth players.
Oh, yeah, I get that, Brian. I mean, how young the Plymouth Big Red volleyball squad is, she probably has just as many varsity layers as this whole squad together does. I mean, she has been here time and time again. Same as Autumn Bailey, too. The other senior has the varsity experience and knows how to play in tight situations in every situation.
So the Cougars looking to create some separation now. 4 straight points for them. Comes the junior Garber once again with the service. See if Plymouth can handle it this time and try to get into some type of a set. Some miscommunication there. And now the setup for Goon just has to tap it over. Wasn't able to get a full strike. This time she does. And she scores. Senior going up against the freshman and just no chance that time for Everly Irvin to come up with a block.
Yeah, Brian, you can kind of see the difference between Crestview, who these girls had played together, versus the young Big Red squad. How the Big Red doesn't usually use their 3 hits as quality hits. They volley it over something when Crestview gets in formation, sets, and spikes. And that's how they're taking advantage of getting these points. They're up 10-4.
We just haven't been able to see Plymouth really get in system here tonight. And what that means is off of the bump, once you get to the set, you want to have a couple of different options here. It's best to have 3 different options heading towards the net. Typically, they've only had 1 or 2 as you see another smash job and more points up on the board for the Cougars.
Man, Kenedi Goon is just so lethal when you get the ball placed right up there around that 7-foot mark. She can just come over with it. You would think that if Crestview scores about 1 or 2 more points, that Hannah Adams and the Big Red had to have a timeout and talk things over. It looks like the Big Red had some miscommunication on that play.
And we talked about getting in system. I mean, if you got option A, though, and you can set it up for a girl like Goon, that's typically going to be the end result. So 8 straight points now for the Lady Cougs. Well in control now, leading 12-4. And Goon with the block, and yet another point. Crestview dominating right now. And like you mentioned, it might be a good time for Hannah Adams to think about a timeout.
And I think she is, Brian. She will talk it over with her young squad, and hopefully they can recoup and get this game back on track.
So we appreciate you guys watching here live on the OH Report YouTube channel. We'll be bringing you lots of live streams here from Crestview throughout the fall season, including this Friday night when the football team hosts Mapleton right here at home. Also got a girls soccer match coming up on Thursday nights. It's more of actually an afternoon showcase. They'll be taking on Mansfield St. Peter's at 5 p.m. right here at home as well. So keep it locked in with the OH Report. All you Cougars fans out there, very excited to work with the school throughout the year, bringing you guys live streams here on the OH Report, and we'll cut up highlights as well and feature them on our website and then our 5 different platforms on our social media: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
You can kind of tell during the second match, and you can tell through the first match, Crestview knows after they get the ball volleyed back to them, the ball is going to go to Sauter. Sauter's going to set it up, and they're going to get those 3 options. Versus Plymouth. Plymouth has been in kind of miscommunication, kind of don't know where the ball goes after that volley back. And another point by Crestview. They're just keeping this rally going.
Now 10 straight points for Crestview, and that one just sails a bit, so side out. And Plymouth catches a little bit of a break.
I'll say Plymouth's Riley Sloan almost bailed Crestview out to get their 11th straight point, but the freshman Emily Irvin will be serving the ball back over.
Cougars unable to make a play on it that time, as Skylar Ramsey, the junior, tried to flip it up over her head over the net, but nothing doing. So the Big Red looking to get on a bit of a roll here. We'll see if Goon can change their fortunes. Nice. Good job there on the dig. But Plymouth puts it out of play, so Crestview earns the side out.
And Izzy Artis back here going to serve the ball over. And she serves out of bounds. Man, Izzy Artis has been finding the back out of bounds for, this was her 3rd ball out.
And, you know, she's a sophomore, and while they have the couple of stud seniors do Crestview, this is also a really young team. Talking to their head coach, Jody Ritchie, before the match, that's something that she told me, is that there's some new kids and some new positions with new responsibilities, and it's really nice, of course, to have the 2 stud athlete seniors to really rely on. But outside of them, there's a lot of new players learning some new roles.
And Crestview gets another point after Big Red bumps out of bounds. Man, Kenedi Goon, no matter where she is on the floor, she is deadly. I mean, she just smashed one from about, she smashes them on the line, she smashes her serves, she smashes them from the back row. And Plymouth cannot keep this ball from out of the rafters. It looks like Crestview is going to take a commanding 18-7 lead.
And that's back-to-back aces now here for Goon. And you see she can mix it up a little bit. That time you see the nice deep float, no spin, and that's her 3rd consecutive point off the service. That's probably part of her strategy too. She's so good. She aimed it out the door, making Morgan Haas run out there, tire her out a little bit on that back line. Cougars just wearing out the Big Red right here in set number 2. Nice give and go. Beautiful setup that time from Chloe Sauter. You mentioned that she's been doing that all game long. Perhaps none prettier than that setup right there for Bailey.
Yeah, when Kenedi Goon's in that back row, don't look past Autumn Bailey. She will get over that net and just spike it down on your team. Looks like Big Red finally gets the ball over the net.
And Bailey again, another point. And how about that? Finding the empty space on the floor and puts it right where she wants it.
Yeah, she saw number 1 from the Big Red, Briley Patrick, just go to the center of the court. She saw that opening. She just wanted to tap it over there.
Goon again, 21-7 now. Crestview way out in front. They have owned set number 2. Looking to take a commanding lead here. This time played out wide, but struck just a bit too firmly that time by Rebecca Kaufman, the outside hitter. But I like that play there from Sauter, mixing it up. She had been feeding Autumn Bailey over and over, and I think that Plymouth looked like the defense kind of rotated to stop her. Bailey, that is, and Kaufman just mishit it.
Don't be shocked here, Brian. If you see it, you see the sets flying from Sauter, and Goon and Autumn Bailey are spiking. Don't look past Sauter tapping it over herself. The defense is playing committed to the spikes over. Sauter might be too young and might not trust herself enough to tap it over, but don't look past it.
See how she does with the service. This one well placed onto the back line. And here's Haas. And Sauter stripes it. Just too wide on that one. So Plymouth with another point. But they're going to need a whole bunch more of those if they're going to get back here into this set. Trailing 22-9.
Yeah, like we talked about in the last set, you got to take baby steps as a young team if you're going to climb back into a game. Sauter sets up Izzy Artis, and Big Red bobbles the bump, and Morgan Haas bumps it all back over.
The setup, and pretty much every time Bailey's had a clean look here this afternoon, she's sealed the deal, got the point.
Yeah, Big Red just doesn't have those tall threats on the front line to block those serves up at the net like the Crestview Cougars do.
Sauter with the setup, and Bailey wipes it clean once again. Set point now for the Cougars, looking to take a commanding 2-0 lead. And you see the effect Bailey had at the net there.
Kelsey Welch sets the ball up for the Big Red, and Morgan Haas dumps it over.
And Artis comes up with the point there. So Crestview now on top 2-0 as they close that one out 25-9. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with set 3 action. Hear from the Cougars then. Here inside of the Cougars Den, live high school volleyball coming your way right now on the OH Report. Crestview on top 2-0 as they took care of business in a major way, 25-9 there in set number 2. And you could tell they really found their rhythm there offensively, and Autumn Bailey was a standout there in set 2.
Yeah, Autumn Bailey just catches those sets from Chloe Sauter, the sophomore. She's been really standing out. Even serving, she's been standing out. But Autumn Bailey knows how to get up, get in the air, and throw the hammer down.
Plymouth does a decent job there scrambling. But back the other way, we talked about Bailey again. Another point. She has been a killing machine here tonight.
Man, she is a monster up on the net. I mean, we talk about Goon, but Autumn Bailey's work does not go unnoticed, at least for us, that she is an animal up there.
Bailey had 8 kills in their first match this year against Bucyrus. Goon, on the other hand, 25 of them. So this 1-2 punch is probably going to be really tough for anybody in the Firelands Conference to deal with throughout the season, no question about it.
Yeah, I'm sure Big Red is having their struggles, and they try to talk about not stopping, because this duo is one of those things where you can't stop, but you try to contain, and that's what the Firelands Conference is probably planning on doing, is contain this duo. Make sure that the volleys over are hard to bump and set and get in the system.
Goon, a nice job there from the back line. And miscommunication there by the Big Red as the ball lands right in between Sloan and Haas. So another point here for the Cougars, who are out to an early 3-0 lead.
And again, we kind of mentioned it, but Chloe Sauter in the middle gets the cylinder, gets them firing on all cylinders, gets this thing wrapped around, and gets the ball over the net. I mean, her work doesn't go unnoticed either.
So Sauter, 4 straight service points, looking for 5 here as Crestview trying to close out this match with a clean sweep in 3 sets. Poked over by Patrick and then back to Bailey. And Patrick there providing the defense. Bailey, though, just probably mishit that one. Wasn't able to get it over the way she wanted.
And Kelsey Welch with the service into the net, gives Crestview the ball back. I'm sure Plymouth is looking to eliminate those mistakes because they want Crestview to work for their points, almost make their defense their offense.
Not a great bump, forcing Haas to go way outside to try to poke it back over the net, and wasn't able to on that attempt. So Crestview, again, well in control here, off to a great start to set number 3. That one sails wide out of play. Nice job eyeballing that one by Sauter, not chasing after it. And it's another Crestview point on top, 7-1.
And Patrick gets that ball barely over, but we set it back up to Autumn Bailey that spikes that thing in the back of Plymouth.
Great placement once again by the senior. Looked like it caught just a piece of that back line, just enough to get Crestview out in front now by 7 points as the service continues here for Kaufman, who is on a roll. The libero can't handle it on the back line. Sloan misplayed it, and the Cougars cruising right here in set 3.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Crestview's best offense is to set the ball up and spike it, but they also do a very, very excellent job at finding the holes in the defenses to where their sets cause defensive distractions and make the defense shift. They find the holes and they get the ball there.
And now Sophie Durbin getting in on the action. That one, wow. Beautiful placement. Right off of the net, in between a couple of defenders. And a timeout taken by Hannah Adams, trying to calm down her young charges out there. We'll see if they can come back motivated and with a new outlook on the game. But right now, it's been all Crestview here in set number 3 on top, 11-1. And you got to be impressed from what we've seen from Jody Ritchie's bunch here throughout the match. They took set 1 25-13. Set number 2 looked even better, 25-9, and they have been rolling here in set 3, now out to a commanding 10-point cushion.
Yeah, you would think that Hannah Adams' young squad would be motivated to at least get a set in, you know what I mean? They don't want to repeat history. They don't want to go down 3-0 like they did last year both times. Hannah Adams' first year probably coaching against Crestview was probably a rough one. They had a young squad last year just like this year, but hopefully they sneak in like they did the first match, kind of steal a couple points here and there. And it's not too late. They can still get match 3, but they got to get behind it fast, and they got to take the ball out of Crestview's hands and get back into their backcourt.
Easier said than done. We'll see if they can get a side out here and try to get some positive momentum rolling in their favor. Right now it's been Kaufman on the serve. She has done well.
Crestview has been doing an excellent job when bumping, finding Sauter, getting Sauter the ball so she can set up and make the plays that the Cougars need to make to get the ball back.
And then snap that one into the back corner. Izzy Artis.
Right off.
You see how the ball just barely gets over the top of the net. Kaufman's doing an excellent job of getting the exact touch on the ball that she wants, putting it on the people that she wants, and that time Haas just unable to play it.
That is another thing that Crestview has been doing is finding the people they want to attack on the serve. They've been doing a very good job at it, picking certain players out of the Big Reds defense. It looks like they're picking on mostly the freshmen and the sophomores. See, Sloan and Patrick are fighting over that ball.
Durbin puts that one into the net, so a much-needed side out now for Plymouth. We will see if they can do anything with it as Summer Davis goes back beyond the service line.
And I don't know if this would change the outcome of the game at all, but Plymouth's been almost beating themselves. When they get the ball, they hit the ball into the net, or they don't get their serve over, and kind of like kicking themselves in the back when they should be forcing Crestview to make the plays that they need to make to get the ball back.
Goon with a smash from the back line. Sloan wasn't able to handle it there.
Me and Brian, look how high Autumn Bailey gets up on these serves. I mean, you don't see girls jump serve and get up that high anymore.
Here she comes. Plymouth, though, able to handle it. Put over by Irvin. The setup outside. Goon smashes it, but dug out that time. Good job by the Big Red.
Yeah, sophomore Chloe trying with that dig. That is mighty impressive from a powerhouse volleyball player like Goon. And Plymouth steals this point. They need to do something with it fast. I mean, the game's only 14-3, but they need to get behind and rally and try to get a couple points up.
And that's all you can do. You just got to keep building off of 1 point to the next. So they trim it down to 11. What can they do now with the serve? We'll see what Riley Sloan's got for him. Excuse me, I'm sorry, that was Patrick
and
sending it over.
Sauter finds Goon.
Now Sauter, she's going to have some options. Sends it out wide. Here's Goon again. Bumped over again in Goon's direction.
They're starting to return Goon's spikes, but I'm afraid it's 2 sets too late. I mean, they are playing very well on Goon's spikes, but if they did earlier, they probably had a better chance to rally and get a set or two behind it.
So Crestview back with the service. Here's Garber.
Sloan with the hit over the net.
Sauter, and just mistiming it was Goon. But you know what? I kind of like that. The fact that she was up in the air before Sauter was even able to push it up for her. Typically, if you're able to do that, the blockers aren't set up, and you can really smash them home. As Goon nearly did that time, but a good job of pulling out the dig there by Irvin.
And Goon sends it over. I thought that play was dead for a second. I surely gave up on it.
Another setup, Goon from the middle, and this time she does connect and puts it away.
As cliche as it sounds, Brian, Crestview is going through the motions. They've been there before. They know how to play together. And we've seen the same 3-4 plays. Sauter serves up to Goon. Sauter serves it up to Bailey. They've been doing the same plays, and it's worked efficiently.
That sail's a bit too firm there from Ramsey. So another side out in Plymouth. Having an opportunity here to try to get something going in their favor again.
Yeah, one of the two seniors, Morgan Haas from Plymouth, looks to serve this ball over and maybe make a rally. And it dies on that net. As you talked about earlier, the ball goes over that net. Sometimes it can just die and train wreck all of Crestview's plans of returning that ball over back to Plymouth. Now let's see if Haas can trim this 10-point lead for Crestview has and see if they can rally into something.
And it happens again. This time, though, the Cougars able to rally and get it over. Some options here for Plymouth, though, as they set it up to their outside hitter, and a point from the senior Summer Davis. Put some smiles on the Big Red faces.
Gives them hope they can stay in it. They trim the double-digit lead down to 9 for the Cougars. And let's see if Morgan Haas can pull a couple other serves out.
So Haas was confident with the serve. That one sailed way too far, though. So back over, and Goon now will handle the serve for Crestview. Goon sends it to the back line. Stumble was able to play it. And now Plymouth with another point.
Ramsey puts that one in the stands. Sadly, we don't have that many fans to catch the ball and return it back due to COVID rules. But we thank you all for our attendance tonight, and we thank everyone that is watching our live stream on YouTube. Will be posted on Facebook later. And Riley Sloan serves the ball over. Sauter gets it to Bailey, and Plymouth returns it and blocks it. That's the first one tonight, Brian.
Yeah, well, that's actually that was tooling off the block right there as it went out of play. And so that'll set it up here.
And so the little things of Plymouth. They're learning how to play the spike and play Bailey.
Some conversation down at the scorers table. Official looking for an explanation of some sort.
Crestview has a commanding 18-8 lead in the third set. Looking to finish this one out. All right, and it looks like we're ready to play.
Here comes the sophomore Chloe Sauter.
She's been streaky back here serving the ball, so I wouldn't be shocked if she goes about 5 or 6 serves deep.
That was an excellent play that time on the setup. Goon did a good job of receiving, got it to the right player in Sauter, who put it up for Bailey, who has been lights out all night. That time, just put it into the net. So an unforced error that time from the Cougars.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic that Crestview's 3 most important players tonight all touched the ball, and somehow they didn't get a point out of it. Usually that combo has worked just well tonight, whether it was Sauter to Goon or Sauter to Bailey. That combo has worked all night.
So Welsh now with back-to-back service points as she floats that one. And now just popped over there by Ramsey. Plymouth returns. Sauter out wide. And into the net from Kaufman. So 3 straight points here for the Big Red. Don't count them out just yet.
You know, Brian, what's been on my mind these last couple serves is Crestview's one of those gyms that the ceiling is so low that volleyball plays where the ball lies. So when it hits these vents, they still have to play the undetermining factor into where will the ball lay. If it hits it, where it'll go. Just a little food for thought. And the freshman Irvin spikes it back over. I think Artis would have found the out-of-bounds line if they didn't return that back to Crestview. And Goon from the back row hits it and finds the out-of-bounds. Plymouth starting a little bit of a rally. I mean, they trimmed it down to a 7-point lead for Crestview. This is about the closest they've been all game.
Doing a nice job rallying back, not giving up. And now they got their senior Davis once again with the service. Just gets it over. Nice job of receiving that one.
Davis finds the ball back, gets it to Kelsey Welch. And the young sophomore, Bradley Patrick, finds the net on the spike. Crestview's Autumn Bailey's serves have been lights out today. I wouldn't be shocked if she goes 5 straight and ends it right here.
See if she gives herself a chance. See how far forward she jumps. We talked about that. Gets good height
And kind of weird, she starts from the left side and moves more in as she serves it, as Goon smashes it over the net into Big Red territory. Big Red just doesn't have an answer for the Bailey and the Goon spikes. Whether it's I think it's lack of size. They don't have those tall girls to jump up and contest it, and Goon and Bailey just walk up scot-free and just smash it over the net.
Good job getting it over the defense there. Durbin tried for the block, and then Plymouth getting another point. So hanging around. 8-point deficit now as they trail 21-13, looking to avoid a 3-set sweep.
Yeah, they still have time, but they need to get the ball rolling if they want to see a set win. And Ramsey returns the ball back over to Big Red. And
that's not going to land in play from Haas. So a side out and then back over to Crestview. So Plymouth, that could have been a golden opportunity for him. The lefty Garber sends it, taken by the libero. Sauter plays it for Goon, and my goodness gracious.
You see Artis kind of jumped up for a decoy, and Plymouth played that, and then Goon just came up right behind her and smashed it. Man, they can do so many things when you have a 6'3" big girl like Goon. You can play decoys, you can play fakes, you can tap it over instead of playing the spike.
You see Goon backing up from the net that time. Good anticipation. And then another point as she plays it off of the arms of Branham.
Yeah, the freshman Jalen Branham looked to contest Goon. Those are big steps to do if you're a freshman jumping up against Goon.
So match point here. Can Crestview end it? Not going to happen on this point as Artis puts it into the net. So the Big Red hanging on by a thread. Still got a little bit of a pulse going. No more side outs can happen for them if they want to get back in this, and they will not. That is going to end it 25-14. Crestview wins it in straight sets, and they looked fantastic here tonight.
Yeah,
we're going to take a break now, Braden. Sorry to cut you off there.
We're
going to go down onto the floor, and I'm going to see if we can get an interview with a couple of the senior girls from Crestview about their match here tonight. So keep it with us here on the OH Report. We'll be right back with some post-match coverage.
She holds her glass up high. She's drowning out the noise. She's screaming out her lungs, but you cannot hear her voice. Oh, and everything comes to an end. Her heart broke 'cause her mind wouldn't let it bend. She's got the blue eyes, blonde hair, don't care. intertwined with mine, even for a little while. But when the evening ends, we're back to being friends. Oh, and everything comes to her, and everything comes to her. Blue eyes, blonde hair, don't care, attitude that gets her everywhere. She's out there looking for love. She's got the blue eyes, blonde hair, don't care, attitude that gets her everywhere. She's
Welcome back to the Cougars Den, where I am down on the floor with a star senior. We got Kenedi Goon with us. Obviously, Plymouth, a young team coming in here tonight, but you took care of business. What did you like most from your squad here tonight?
I think we started off a little slow, just got jitters out. It's only the second game, but once we started coming together, I think we can really put on a show. Our hitters started connecting with the setter, and the passes were a lot better, and I think that was just really good. Because we're a young team as well, so.
Yeah, it's true. Just a couple of seniors on the team here. Tell me about being a leader for this young bunch, and what's it been like trying to bring them along this offseason?
Yeah, I've struggled with being a leader, like, all throughout high school, so that's always been one of my main things. I have to try to be a leader on the court because they do really look up to me, I think, and I've been working on it, and, yeah, if I'm, like, leading and doing good, then everyone else feeds off that, so I really got to work on that, and I'm trying to get better with it every day, so.
Well, you had some excellent smash jobs here tonight. Just tell me and explain to the audience at home that's never been able to jump that high and hit it as hard as you can. What does it feel like when you get a kill where it hits and it's just thunderous and just everyone goes, ooh and ah?
It's the best thing ever.
I
when
bet.
you see the other side of the court smiling, like, oh my gosh, it's just awesome, and it feels so good to just get full contact with the ball and put it away.
So moving forward, you're in a really tough conference, of course. You know, you're probably going to be in the mix with about 3 or 4 other teams. A couple of them went to state, I think, even last year. How excited are you for the challenge and the opportunity to go head-to-head with some of these Firelands opponents?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge, but I think if we all work together, everyone does their own role, then we'll be able to pull off a win, and it'll be awesome if we can. So.
All right, thanks for your time,
Thank
Kenedi.
you.
Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and I'll take the headset from you. And we'll have one of your senior teammates come in now. Autumn Bailey is going to be joining us. All right, so we've got senior Autumn Bailey, and just like Kenedi, you had some awesome strikes on the ball tonight. Tell me, what is it like for you, just the experience of having a great hit where you put it right in the perfect place?
It's good. I mean, we have our setters working to get the ball, and I just feel strong when she gets a good set to me.
Just tell me about the team collectively. What do you like about this bunch of girls that you have this year?
I mean, we're young, but we're definitely working on communication. We're getting better at it, and we're pretty good at working together.
Particularly, I would say with Sauter, it seemed like you guys had a really good connection tonight. How have you guys developed? She's just a sophomore throughout the off-season to get to this point. What has that process been like?
We've been working hard. I just need to make sure I communicate with her, and that's like the biggest thing. I just need to tell her where I need the ball.
And I was asking Kenedi about the conference. Obviously, it's tough sledding here in the Firelands. How much do you look forward to that challenge as you get deeper and deeper into the conference schedule?
I'm excited for it. I mean, if we keep working hard, we'll be able to compete.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time, Autumn, and congratulations on a big win here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, I'll go ahead and take
Living under mama's skirt, so she would never get hurt. Held tight by daddy's arms, so she could work all her charms. Oh, but everything comes to an end. My heart broke 'cause her mind wouldn't let it bend. She's got the blue eyes, blonde hair, don't care, attitude that gets her everywhere, and she's out there looking for love. She's got the blue eyes, blonde hair, don't care, attitude that gets her everywhere, and she's out there looking for love. She holds her glass up high, she's drowning out the noise, she's screaming out her lungs, but you cannot hear her voice. Oh, and everything comes to an end. Her heart broke 'cause her mind wouldn't let it bend. She's got the blue eyes, blonde hair, don't care, attitude that gets her everywhere, and she's out there looking for love. She's got the blue eyes, blonde hair, don't care, attitude that gets her everywhere, and she's out there looking for love. I'm getting her through the night, I'm getting her out alive.
15 kills. And then Autumn 13. So just, yeah, we'll just keep that out while we're talking.
Okay.
Our live broadcast here at the Cougars Den between Crestview and Plymouth, where the Lady Cougs come out victorious on top 3-0. They clean sweep the Big Red here tonight. Some of the standouts, of course, we just talked to. Kenedi Goon, what a match for her. 15 kills, 4 aces, 7 digs. And then the other senior, Autumn, 13 kills, a couple of blocks. She had 7 points. 29 assists tonight for Chloe Sauter. So really solid performance for this Crestview team, who we look forward to watching as they progress throughout the year. And we will be back here over at the Cougars Den for many more matches throughout the season. So we appreciate your viewership. We will be on Facebook and YouTube in the future moving forward. So our apologies to any of our fans on Facebook that didn't get an opportunity to watch on that platform here tonight. But we will be back, and we will be better than ever. Thursday night, we got a soccer match against St. Peter's right back here at Crestview. And then Friday night, we're going to be back over here again when they take on Mapleton in their season opener. So lots of Cougars sporting events, live streams coming your way here soon on the OH Report. Appreciate y'all watching. For Garrett Parlett, Travis Berardi, Dan Napier, Braden Creveling, and Adam Thompson, my name is Brian Skoronsky. We appreciate your viewership, and we will see you once again right here on the OH Report. Signing out for now.